Welcome Home, a podcast for veterans about veterans by veterans, is a project of Willing Warriors and the Warrior Retreat at Bull Run.
Good morning. I'm your host, Larry Zoliak, Director of Culinary Services here at the Warrior Retreat at Bull Run. And this week, we're doing something a little bit different. There's no guests joining me. I just wanted to go back and do a kind of recap of all things Warrior Retreat at Bull Run for 2025. Just sort of go over what happened at the retreat, all the different awesome events we had, and kind of give you an overview of what the year looked like for the staff and the volunteers and the guests who came to the Warrior Retreat. So for those of you who are new and have not joined us before, the Warrior Retreat at Bull Run is a project of Willing Warriors, a 501c3 nonprofit based in Haymarket, Virginia. Its primary program is the Warrior Retreat at Bull Run, and the retreat itself is a $6 million, 37-acre estate. It has 3 homes on it. 2 of the homes we use to invite wounded warriors and their families out from Walter Reed, Fort Belvoir Community Hospital, or any of the soldier recovery units around the country. Also from various branches, such as the Navy Safe Harbor Program, the Marine Corps Soldier Recovery Unit at Camp Lejeune, Air Force, AF2, any number of wounded warriors are invited to stay for 5 nights. Each of our 2 houses that we use to host wounded warriors and their families are 5-bedroom, so we encourage them to fill it up. Mom, dad, aunt and uncle, grandma, grandpa, anybody who would make their stay more impactful. That could be battle buddies, friends, relatives. And we do about 37 guest stays a year in each house. The families check in on Friday and check out on Wednesday. Then on Wednesday, we have volunteers who come in and clean and sanitize. We also have a cleaning crew that comes in, and then a staging crew that comes in and gets the house ready for the next guests that will check in that next Friday. We have an op tempo that runs 3 guest stays in a row, and then we take a week off. During that week off, from March through November, on the Saturday that we're off, we do what we call Beautification Day, where from Saturday from 9 to noon, we have help from the community. They sign up to come out and help us with a bunch of projects that we just don't have the bandwidth to do. So they'll come out and paint, they'll come out and weed, put down mulch, just a whole bunch of projects. And we typically have anywhere from 75 to 125 community members that come out and support us. It's a lot of fun, and we really appreciate the help. I mentioned 3 houses. We have the Lang House, the original house, 11,000 square feet, 31 rooms. About 9,000 square feet is used by the warrior and their family. We have about 2,000 square feet for offices and conference room. And it's a 5-bedroom home, so up to 10 guests in each house. The house was, we just had our 10-year anniversary. So this last Memorial Day was our 10th anniversary celebration. Then the second house we brought online, the Lang House, we started in 2015 hosting warriors and their families. And then the Penn Fed House, which is a little bit smaller, but also 5 bedrooms. It's about 4,800 square feet. That we brought online in 2019. That was built for us. We received a grant from Penn Fed Foundation, as well as the Northern Virginia Heavy Contractors Association, number of private donors. And that doubled our capacity, and we've been running the 2 houses ever since. And then in 2024, May 2024, we brought online the 3rd house on the property, which is the Grand Lodge. Again, we received a sizable donation from the Penn Fed Foundation, about $500,000. And then we matched that and raised additional funds for about a $1.3 million Grand Lodge, which is 6 bedrooms. And we used that to host programs and different events that we have here on the property. This year, we've managed to really touch a lot of warriors and a lot of families. We've hosted 3,233 warriors, families, and veterans for different programs as well as guest stays. And we've been busy, to say the least. For us, the winter, of course, is the slowest time, but things start to ramp up in the spring, really get going May 1st, which is really one of our fun, exciting events. We have a close association with the elementary school nearby, Alvey Elementary, and the military children there collect donations for us, raise money, and purchase service flags for us. So on the property, we have an American flag in our memorial garden, and then around a horseshoe area in the front yard are service flags. And we have each branch as well as our own flag, Willing Warriors flag. And we take those down in the winter because just the wind and the weather just rips them apart. It's very windy up here on the hill. But then on May 1st, we invite the kids from Alvey Elementary to come out and raise the flags that they bought for us. And they come out before school starts, and we pair them up with some crusty old guys from my American Legion post, 1799 here in Haymarket. And together they have a bugler, and they raise the flags together. It's a lot of fun, and the kids and the families have a great time, and we really look forward to that. And we'll have the flags up then through the rest of the year till right after our home away from home dinner in November. We'll take them back down again for the winter. But in May that we had our 10th anniversary event, we opened our doors. We had a ribbon cutting on the Lang House, the original house, July 4th of 2015. And so this year, in May, we had our 10th anniversary event and had a lot of people on the property. It was really great to see people we haven't seen in a long time, some former guests who had come back to celebrate with us. One of the exciting things for me as the Director of Culinary Services is we dedicated the kitchen in the Lang House to Jim Cole. And Jim was my very first volunteer sous chef who would help our visiting chefs when they came to do prep work and cook and do whatever was needed in the kitchen while the chef came to make the warrior a great dinner. And unfortunately, during COVID, Jim lost his battle with liver disease. And this year, during our 10th anniversary, we dedicated the kitchen in the Lang House to him and the Jim Cole kitchen. And we have a wonderful photo of him in there with his apron and a little plaque. And we unveiled that during the anniversary ceremony. His children came from Maine and sister from Washington State and unveiled that. And it was just a really great day. We miss Jim a lot. We definitely do. We had our Vets for Willing Warriors event in July. And this is our annual car show that we do. This year is big as ever. We had 264 cars. There were 865 people on the property, including our volunteers and visitors and people showing their cars. We had 131 volunteers actually for that particular event. So our events are, we rely on our volunteers heavily, whether they're parking people, whether they're giving tours, whether they're cleaning up, whether they're setting up. It takes a lot. In fact, just that event, which really doesn't take as much as some of the other events, was 646 volunteer hours just to get that event off the ground. But we also want to give a shout out to the Knights of Columbus here in Haymarket, Gainesville. They volunteer to provide all the food, hot dogs, hamburgers, and go ahead and cook that all up and offer it for free or a donation to everybody who comes that day. So we really appreciate the Knights of Columbus and what they do for us during the Vets for Willing Warriors event. Now, Next year, I will note that we're moving it from July because it's just incredibly hot, and we're going to move it to May. So look for that. It's going to be on our webpage, and you'll be able to see the events coming up. And that one, if you want to come out for that, it's a lot of fun. That one will be in May 2026. Then we had our 10th annual, I believe it was our 10th annual Warrior Ride, which is a bicycling event. That's not here on the property. That actually takes place at a brewery nearby. But this year we had, there's 3 or 4 different courses that the riders can take. A mountain bike course. There's also like a 13-mile, a 25-mile, and then a big 60-plus mile route. We had 277 cyclists. Again, takes a lot of volunteers, 196 volunteers, just to pull that one-day event off. Whether they're planning, setting up, moving stuff, we have volunteers all along the route. We have 3 rest stops. There are volunteers at each rest stop. There's an ambulance at each rest stop. There are ham radios at the rest stop and all along the route to track the riders. We also have a whole team that can go out and pick up the riders and pick up trucks and bring their bikes back if they have trouble. There's a bike shop people at the start who can tune up bikes. We have a massage therapist at the start to tune up riders. And it's just an amazing event. We have, they ride, come back, they get a ticket for a beer and a Mission barbecue lunch. So it's a great event. That's September of every year. We ride and have a lot of fun. November is our annual gala. And this was our 10th annual gala, and it was wonderful. It's really an event to celebrate the warriors and what they do for our country and for us. And it's just another way for those people who like to come to the gala and donate to see what we do. And to hear firsthand from a number of different warriors who spoke about their stay, and it's really, really a fun night. We also give out during the gala our Visiting Chef of the Year award. In 2025, our Visiting Chef of the Year was Navy Chief Dakota Aubrey. He is a chef for an admiral, and he's just a trooper. He's been out to the retreat 10, 11 times to make dinner this year for different warriors and their families. I should take a minute to tell you a little bit about the Visiting Chef program, which is what I manage and oversee. I have about 126 chefs that volunteer to come out to the retreat on either a Saturday or Sunday. We do it a dinner for each house, and the chef comes out, makes an extraordinary meal for the family. And 85% of my chefs are military chefs, from the chefs and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs residence to the Navy chefs at Presidential Food Service at the White House, to the Navy and Coast Guard chefs at the Naval Observatory that cook for the Vice President, all the way down through the Marine Corps chefs. And they love to come out to the retreat, and it's a great way for them to give back. It also is a great program because it introduces our warriors to food that they most likely won't encounter on their own. A lot of the restaurant chefs that come out, the warriors just can't afford to go and spend that kind of money to eat in their restaurant. So we bring that 5-star culinary experience to them. They almost always say it's the best meal they've ever had. And they have a lot of fun. We try to get them into the kitchen and show them techniques, how to cook. It's not rocket science. It's salt, fat, acid, and heat. It's good ingredients and simple techniques make wonderful dishes, and everybody has a good time. And it's a lot of fun. It's one of the highlights, I think, of the stay. And we also have a number of other things that the families can do while they're staying at the retreat. So there's all sorts of activities. A massage therapist can come in. Each family gets a photo shoot while they're there at the retreat, so they have great memories of their time at the retreat. Each family can pick a number of different activities. They can go to a shooting experience with an original SEAL Team 6 member. They can go to an antique automobile restoration facility out in White Post. They can go swimming, horseback riding, tours. They can go to concerts at the Hilton Center. If there's something playing there at the time they're staying, we can easily arrange to get tickets. So the guest stay coordinator, which is a volunteer position that works with the family to arrange all this and get an itinerary together for them and get everything squared away with the vendors, and so that they have a place to go and they expect them and everybody has a good time. They work with the families for weeks, if not a month out, to make sure that they have an amazing stay with us. And again, that's all part of what the volunteers do. Here at the Warrior Retreat, we just have 6 staff members. We have 1 full-time staff member, our executive director, and then 5 of us are part-time who work full-time. But it's really a great job to have, I got to say. I'm not complaining by any measure. It's an amazing place, and we're just very fortunate that the community trusts us and gives us the ability to give this gift back to the Warriors, because it is, millions of dollars has gone into this facility to make it a very special place for our wounded warriors and their families. Rounding out our events, we've got after the gala, we have my favorite event of the year, which is our home away from home dinner. So we have hosted the home away from home dinner for 10 years. The very first year we did it, it was crazy. We had about 25 warriors that we found at the hospitals, and mostly single guys and ladies. And we said, come on out the Sunday before Thanksgiving, and we'll have a home-cooked Thanksgiving dinner. And that was a bunch of volunteers and myself and staff who put together dishes and got a turkey and roasted it, and it was pretty basic, actually. And then as we went on, our volunteer executive event chef, Ken Gardner, put together a more substantial meal, and that grew and grew, and we brought more chefs on. And now that we are in the Grand Lodge, and we can use the activities room in the Grand Lodge, we were able to host almost 70 warriors and family members this year in November. And we had 3 days of cooking and preparing food. And then on that Sunday before Thanksgiving, we hosted that dinner, and it was amazing. We had smoked turkey and roasted turkey and ham and about 10 different sides. Everything's made from scratch. We had about 20 chefs in on Saturday, all taking a dish and knocking it out. And we make the croutons from scratch. We make the salad dressing from scratch. Everything that went on that buffet table for everybody was made from scratch. And we also want to give a big shout out to I-66 Express, who sponsored the dinner. They gave us a donation of $5,000 for food, and we used almost all of it, making a scratch dinner for about 100 when you consider not only the volunteers that we feed, but we like to overcook because we want to give everybody a take-home container so they can take it back and either share it with somebody who couldn't come or next day's lunch, It's just an awesome dinner and time. And we had about 30 volunteers for that. Also, we had some great special guests. We had Commissioner Chuck Zingler and his wife, Kay. They came for the second year in a row. And it's great to have the commissioner of the Virginia Department of Veterans Services show up and talk to the veterans that are there and the active duty that may become veterans and want to stay here in Virginia and know that they can count on the Department of Veterans Services here for help if needed. And he makes it a point to talk to everybody, every soldier, every veteran that's here. He really does love to come out and really talk to these warriors and find out what their needs are. And we're always so happy to have his support. We also had a special guest by the name Withold Brick, was a World War II survivor, and he was born in Poland, and he fought in the Warsaw Uprising and with the Polish resistance until he was captured and interned in a Nazi camp. And he was 102 and soon to be 103, and it was very exciting to have him there. He had a great time, and his daughter Michelle brought him out. It was great. So it was really a fun day. December, we have holiday parties at Walter Reed in Fort Belvoir. They are a lot of fun. The Walter Reed one especially. We give a lot of stuff away. And then, we kind of have a little lull in January where things slow down for us and we take a little bit of a breather and then get right into the new year. We got a host of programs. The Grand Lodge was built for programs, for groups to come in and do events. And some of the groups that come, like Mighty Oaks or the American Warrior Association, they take up all three houses, where they bring in a number of veterans for counseling or different types of programs and use the Grand Lodge for their training and for dining, basically. We will do our own programs. We do a moral injury program. In 2026, we're going to expand that program not only for veterans and warriors, but also our first responders in the community. And we sort of look at that as a way to give back to the community, to say, thank you for your support. And here is a program that we have that we feel could benefit your first line firefighters, police, EMS, emergency room personnel, what I like to refer to as the warriors within the wire, those that are doing a job that is extremely stressful and dangerous, and many have issues with moral injury. And so we're looking forward to expanding that program in 2026. But we also do host moral injury programs by the chaplains from the Soldier Recovery Unit at Fort Belvoir. We bring out soldiers for 1 week, a group, and then family for another, and then cadre or the medical personnel that work with the warriors. And that was a very successful program the last couple of years. We did an elderly veteran lunch where we hosted an afternoon of fun and food for about 30 elderly veterans, many with mobility issues, and don't get out much. And so we were able to work with a couple of nonprofit VSOs in the area to get them to the retreat and have a fun time. And it was really a great day. And we're looking forward to doing that again next year. We partner with an organization called We Signed Up To, which is a really fun nonprofit. And it was started by 2 teenage girls who actually were guests here in 2018 with their father. And they decided that they needed to create an online space and an organization that supported children of wounded warriors. And it's called We Signed Up To. And we hosted them, about 10 of these young people, out for a day. They wanted to have a cooking class, a journaling class, and a survival class. And we were able to get all of those for them for that day. And we're looking forward to hosting them again as well. And we also did a summer leadership challenge for teenagers when we partnered with the 957 Project, which is a nonprofit that has a curriculum that teaches young people about 9/11 and the war on terrorism. And they come out for a day, for a week. It's a day camp. And each element of that course is taught by a veteran. And the veterans stay in the Grand Lodge, the instructors, and then the kids come for the day. And it's a really, really great program. And we had a lot of fun doing that. Kids are amazing. They all have to pick a project where they support their community, and they really do an amazing job. Just thinking about it, really, it's really great to see these kids and what they come up with as a way to give back. But we're going to be looking at doing that again. Looking forward to doing that again in 2026. We at the retreat really understand that we couldn't do what we do without our volunteers. We have a core group of volunteers that are absolutely amazing. They come, they show up every week. They do staging to set the house up for the next family coming in. They do grounds team work. I mean, we have some amazing veterans who are on our grounds team, and they're out there mowing the lawn in pretty hot weather sometimes in the dead of summer. And, they do an amazing job. We have a team that works the garden, master gardeners and volunteers. We have a huge vegetable garden. We can provide all sorts of fresh vegetables for the families while they're here and the chefs. We have volunteers that come and work just events like the bike ride, like the gala, like the Corvette show. We have a volunteer who comes twice a year, just wants to set up Christmas trees in December and again to take them down in January. And Maureen, that's all she does. We don't see her for the rest of the year. We have a volunteer who rarely comes to the retreat, but she has an amazing pool at her house nearby. Just a beautiful pool, and we call it Bonnie's Private Pool. And during the summer, the families can go over there. She works from home, and they can swim. And she invites them over. They have a great time. And that's her way of contributing. And we have hundreds and hundreds of volunteers that really, really do the work. And when you think about this year alone, we are closing in on 12,500 volunteer hours that we are able to track. There are sometimes people that come and volunteer and do things that we don't get to track all their hours. We get a lot of groups that come out, companies that bring their employees out to help us. Home Depot Foundation is one. They bring their people out and do amazing work on the property. We're thankful for their contribution of the flooring in the Grand Lodge when it was being built. They just worked with Tough Shed to get us a $25,000 mower shed. Barn, actually, is what it looks like to me, which we really needed because we were storing our mowers in a ratty pole barn that was just coming apart at the seams. And this really is going to help us maintain our mowers. And our grounds team goes out, on a Wednesday, they're out with 4 zero turns for hours mowing the lawn. We've got a big property, and they make it look beautiful. Also, a shout out to Amazon, another of our big donors. They have committed to a grant we'll receive here shortly to build a small little studio in our offices, and it's a $20,000 grant for the build out of the construction as well as equipment to. I think we'll move from audio only over to video as well, and put out some episodes that'll be video, and you'll be able to see our guests. So we're really looking forward to that coming up in 2026, and we really appreciate the support of Amazon in that grant, that's for sure. Direct everybody to the webpage, too. It's willingwarriors.org, O-R-G. You can see ways to volunteer, ways to donate. You can see all the different programs that we have. And certainly if you have any questions, you can email us through the webpage, or we really want to hear from you, especially if you want to volunteer. We can find something for you to do. There's no doubt about that. We need volunteers for everything, really. When you think about it, we give out thousands of cards, handmade cards by church groups and kids each year, but we have to go through all those cards. Some of them are not appropriate, and it's not that that's done for mean reasons. It's just some of these younger kids don't understand what warriors are going through, and exploding tanks, things like that. We just kind of weed out. So everything takes man hours. We have a great team of handymen. One handles everything inside the houses and one that handles everything outside the houses. We have 21 acres of hardwood with 5 trails that need to be maintained. We also have a volunteer who manages all our Eagle Scout projects. We're most likely the private property in the country with the most Eagle Scout projects. We're sitting right now at about 74. And so we have a lot of support from the community. But please, if you're interested in donating or volunteering, reach out to us. Go to the webpage, willingwarriors.org. Check it out. And if you have any questions, you can email us or give us a call. We're happy to talk to you about whatever position you'd like to volunteer for, or whatever, any questions you might have. That's going to be it for this year. We're wrapping up, and I want to thank all of our listeners. As crazy as it seems, 5% of our listeners are in Europe, which is a big surprise to me. But wherever you are, I really appreciate you taking the time to listen and to meet our guests that we have. And hopefully we've been able to bring some useful information to you and introduce you all to veteran service organizations and individuals that are giving back and are contributing in ways that can help. And hopefully, certainly, if you need help, we've maybe found a resource for you. Season 4 starts in January, and I'm excited to say that my guest for Season 4, first episode, is going to be Rear Admiral Mike Studeman. Was a retired Navy intelligence officer, and he has a new book out. It's a great book, and we'll be talking to him in the very first episode of Season 4. So until then, we really thank you for listening. You can find us on all the major podcast platforms. We're on YouTube.
The Welcome Home podcast is brought to you by Willing Warriors, a nonprofit organization serving active duty service members and veterans since 2012. To learn more, please visit our webpage at willingwarriors.org.